So I legit live below the poverty line. And if somebody that's my friend watched this video and saw the title, they would be like, I knew this guy was gonna struggle at one point. This whole social media stuff doesn't work. They would call my mom would call my grandma. There will be a whole interrogation within my family about what is going on and why are you struggling so much. But one of my all-time goals in life was to basically live a rich lifestyle on a poor man's salary. And you know, according to Google, my most trusted advisor and source out there, to be able to qualify to basically live below the poverty line, you need to make around $12,880. That's around $1,073. Don't think I'm smart. I did the math beforehand. And you know, I live off legit per month $973.75. That is less than $12,000 a year. And you might be wondering, Tommy, how does this qualify you to live a rich lifestyle on a poor man's salary? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I live better than the average American will ever live. And I don't say this to show off, but I tell you this so you're able to actually understand what is actually possible. And here's the first thing. I have the best car in the world because it is paid off. I have the best mansion in the world because it is paid off. It's not a mansion, by the way. I also have somebody come to my house and clean it. I also have somebody do my lawn for me. I also, whenever I go to the grocery store, guess what I get? I get the ultra strong toilet paper. So you know I'm balling out of control. So basically, I'm able to sustain this lifestyle on less than $12,000 a year. And you're gonna wanna watch this video to find out how the heck is this possible. So I really did accomplish my goal to live a rich lifestyle on a poor man's salary. In reality, less money than a poor person actually has when you talk about poverty line and all this talk. Now, as always, guys, do me a favor and smash the like button on top. But also, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified because I do post videos every single day or week, whatever it is, okay? Now, the very first thing is, guys, Tommy, how do you figure out that you wanted to live a rich lifestyle on a poor man's salary? I understood this one thing, that in life, you have these 4 expenses that are gonna be the most big expenses that you're always gonna have. And those are basically shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Show me one person that doesn't have to pay for those things, okay? Everyone has to pay for those things once you move out of your parents' house, and you know, and it's like a big, like once you move out, all of a sudden you become more conservative about turning the lights off, you know, the toothpaste, you don't want to waste all of it. You know, everything is just like more conservative because, you know, because now you got to pay for everything. Now, I figured this out very early on that basically when it came to shelter and house or apartment, I knew that renting forever was gonna be expensive and not a good idea. I knew that buying a house way too early on when you couldn't afford it was also gonna be a bad idea. I knew that where you bought a house was super important. So at the time I was living in New York and I said, I can't live here. Like, yeah, I have a good income, a great income, but in reality, I'm gonna have to basically either spend $1,200 in an apartment per month or buy a home for like $500,000. That's crazy. So I looked at different places, 3 to be exact. I looked at Texas, looked at Florida, and I also looked at Puerto Rico. Now this was before everyone was moving to Florida or Texas, so I decided to go with Puerto Rico. Obviously, great weather, cost of living is low, and also a lot of tax incentives and also great people, all right? So when I came here, I was able to rent an apartment for like, let's say like $725, 3 bedrooms, and I was also able to basically, if I wanted to, I could buy an apartment, paid off, cash, done, for $50,000 to $100K, great apartment. Or I could buy a house for $100K to $200K. Now I had spent, for example, years saving up money. So I saved up almost like $200,000 and I went ahead and I bought a home for $130,000, which is awesome. And then I remodeled it and put in some more money into it. And now the home is basically almost remodeled. It's mine, it's paid off, and it's exactly what I wanted. So just by relocating, whether it's going to Mexico or going down to Florida or going down to Texas or wherever you wanna go, you're able to save a ton of money. And you might say, Tommy, well, my job has me work like here. I can't work remote. That's great or whatever, I get it. But it is about looking for jobs that can get you to work remote or starting a side hustle to actually be able to work from somewhere else. And then you can basically live somewhere. I know people that have moved to Vietnam, people that have moved to Portuguese, like people, is that a country or is that a language? I can't. Is it Portugal? I don't know, okay? But people move all the time abroad to basically save money. So wherever you are, you don't gotta stay there. You can go somewhere else and save so much money when it comes to rent or buying a place. And that's what I figured out, and that's why I came here, as far as, for example, to be able to buy a home and be done with it this quickly, this fast. And by the way, I live in one of the nicest properties in my neighborhood, and guess what? I live on less money than the people do in my neighborhood. That's the crazy thing, okay? Then you have, for example, utilities, which are things that are always gonna be there. You have light, you have basically your water bill, you have your phone bill, you have your internet bill, you have, for me, haircuts are like a utility, I need them, all right? And I knew one thing, like if I focused way too much on this, it was gonna be a dumb idea, because when you start to overthink things, you can do like a lot of stupid stuff. So I know people that they say, Tommy, I wanna save money on my light bill, all right? So what do you do about it? I went ahead and I got me some solar panels. How much does that cost? Yeah, I spent $30,000 on solar panels. And I also save money on gas. How do you do that? Well, I also bought me a Tesla for $30,000, $40,000. I'm like, God, that's pretty stupid, okay? Congratulations, you save money on your monthly bill, but I'd rather pay $200 on my monthly bills on this stuff than basically buy me a $60,000 liability in a sense, okay? So it didn't make any sense at all. So for me, having a good solid car, great. Having to pay a light bill, that's fine for now, all right? I don't really wanna buy all that stuff that makes no sense. So utilities, I don't focus that much on it, but overall, I only spent around $313.75 because I make sure I have things that are basically energy efficient. I don't waste my light. I don't waste things overall. So by just basically being responsible, I only pay like $313.75, and that's it, okay? And by the way, when it comes to my house, by the way, because this is my first home, this, by the way, why I love Puerto Rico, I don't have to pay taxes on it. There's no mortgage on it because I paid for it. And on top of that, I only have to pay, for example, like insurance and maintenance. And for me, maintenance is like $300. Like I pay someone to clean the home, $200 a month, and then $100 for somebody to come in and basically do my lawn. It's actually $75, like $50, but sometimes if I let it go out of control, it's $100, okay? So I save so much money by basically living here. This is the cool thing. And then you also have groceries. Now my grocery bill used to be like $200, and then inflation hit, and then I was like, no more. And now it's like $300, okay? So, and by the way, I also like buying like things that I like that are quality. I shop at Costco, which is terrible for psychology when it comes to shopping, and they do a great job over there, make you spend money. But yeah, I shop there. I spend like $300 a month when it comes to shopping at Costco. I tried to do like the whole like, how much would it cost to like eat out all the time and to order like Uber Eats all the time? I did it. I tried it, and it was like $20 to $30, and I was not eating enough, okay? I didn't feel like I was eating enough. And then I was like, yo, this is costing me like $900. It's like ridiculous. It is insane. I did not want to be one of those people that basically say, hey, where does your money go? To food? That's where my money goes, okay? That's not what I wanted. So $300, I know what to buy, I know what I'm getting, and boom, I'm good to go. And I buy things in bulk, so that way I don't have to waste a lot of money, all right? Even though I'm one person, I buy things in bulk because that way I know what I'm buying and I know it's gonna last me a long time. That's the idea, okay? Lastly, transportation. I have, again, the best car in the world because it's paid off. I drive a Toyota Prius 2014. It is sexy. It gives me 50 miles on the gallon. So when everybody was crying about gas prices, I was like, oh, okay, $40 a month. I'm not that bad for me. Also, insurance here is like $200 a year, which is great. And then for car washes, I was gonna start washing my own car, but then I was like, I pay $7 to drive it through a car wash, so why would I do that? So like $20 a month on car washes. So overall, when you look at all of these numbers, I'm spending less than $975 a month when it comes to my bills. So my passive income can pay for all of that. Now overall, this is what I mean, okay? This lifestyle cost me a lot of money, because to buy a home for cash cost me a lot of money. But if you wanted to come do what I do here, you don't have to buy something this expensive. You can buy, for example, an apartment for like $50,000 or like $30,000. You can buy a home for a lot less money than I did. You're basically able to live the lifestyle that you actually want. So this is what I always wanted to do. I wanted to live my version of a rich man's life with a poor man's salary. So with all of the rest of the money that I basically make, and by the way, this is less than 10% of what I make, okay? This is my lifestyle, less than 10% of what I make. So all that extra money can go towards investing or giving money to charity, or for example, buying more assets and making more money. Now, if I were an idiot, like I used to be, I have to admit this, I would basically be in Louis Vuitton, Gucci, buy me some fancy glasses and some fancy sunglasses and some fancy, you know, all the fancy stuff. Because it's not hard to spend money, it's hard to save and invest and basically multiply money. That's what's hard, okay? I would have been doing that stuff, but now I always just maintain my lifestyle. I add a few things here and there, but I always stick to this concept of I wanna live a rich lifestyle on a poor man's salary. So if things ever change in my life, I'm able to maintain it, basically working minimum wage if things get like that. But again, passive income can cover all that stuff. So that's how I did it. That's how I live below the poverty line here in Puerto Rico. Now guys, that is it. Thanks for watching. And by the way, there is one more thing I want to say. People will watch this video and they will say you're only able to do this because A, you are a single man, B, you live in Puerto Rico, and blah, 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 blah. I did the math. Even if I have, for example, 4 people living with me, to live below the poverty line is like $26,000. And again, a wife and 2 kids or whatever, I still have enough money to basically cover all those things. And again, you would have 2 incomes then. The answer is like, it's still there. Like, that's not an excuse. And then, for example, if you say like, oh, I live in Puerto Rico, I also was gonna do this when I lived in Florida, because I was gonna pay for this home. I wasn't gonna buy something expensive. It was gonna be like $250 or like $300,000 max. It would have taken me a little bit more longer to pay it off, but again, the math would have still been the same. The point is, don't use what I have as an excuse. Find a way to solve what you want and what is your version of your rich lifestyle. For me, being able to pay for an $85 flight to see my grandma whenever I want to is a big deal. For me to be able to go eat out whenever I want to is a big deal. For me to be able to go to the gym is a big deal. My haircuts are a big deal, but I don't have these massive wants, so I don't have to worry about massive things. That's the idea. The man with the least amount of wants is the man who's gonna get there a lot faster. And I also wanna be inclusive, so women also, okay? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. Comment down below any questions, and comment down below, poor. So I know you made it all the way to the end of this video. Poor, but rich. You know what I mean? Because it's all about perspective. Thanks for watching. As always, up here is another video, and here is my face. Click subscribe, and as always, long-term team officially out. Comment down below though. Do you want me to like make a video on how much money exactly it cost me to be able to live this way? Because you know exactly like the number monthly, but how much did everything cost to be able to maintain this thing? Okay. Comment down below. Let me know. Peace.